Radio for your community is here. Colwyn Bay's Bayside Radio.
Just a couple of days to go now before Valentine's Day, and about joking apart, we've been talking about the terrible situation that blokes find themselves in, having to, be able to use the oven. And I know a lot of you have been crash coursing over the last couple of days. It's been a bit of a dilemma, hasn't it? Because all the restaurants are closed at the moment, and we'd all take the easy option and just get down to the restaurants with our other half. And now we're going to have to think very seriously about how we're going to express our love to our other half. Anyway, that's the softer side. And now, of course, I want to talk to you about something that is a little bit more serious, and that is the big issue of romance scams. And as always a pleasure to talk to Chris Livesey from the Community Safety Unit with North Wales Police. Morning to you, Chris.
Morning, Simon. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. We've been talking about Valentine's Day all the way through the week, and we've been having some very pitiful tales from fellas wondering how they're going to deal with this. And a lot of them have been rushing off to Marks and Sparks for the meal for two and a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
But beneath all of that, there's quite a serious story, isn't there, about romance scams and things that people fall into round about this sort of time of the year. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this then?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for having us on, Simon. Romance scams, we've seen a massive increase due to lockdown. Obviously, a lot of people can't sort of go out on dates and stuff, and a lot of people have been joining online dating apps. Sadly, we have scammers on online dating apps. They're quite big organised sort of crime groups. They kind of sit there in like call centres, and they will engage with people on online dating apps. They will sort of build rapport with them over a period of time. Sometimes it can be a couple of weeks, sometimes a couple of months.
Right.
And their end goal is to get money off you, basically. And sadly, we've had quite a high report. This is people who've actually reported to North Wales Police, and we've had 39 victims in the last 9 months. That's recorded, and they've lost in excess of £1 million Yeah, it's an astonishing figure, yeah.
So how, you say 39 victims losing over £1 million. How does this happen? And is this people sending money to people that, to meet up with them, or how is that money lost then? How does that work?
So they will build rapport with these people, and they'll have like a file on each individual person. So Mrs. Miggins, Mrs. Robinson, Miss Robinson, Miss Miggins, whoever it is that day, they will contact them. They build rapport over a long period of time, and then they'll say something like, "Oh, I'd love to come and visit you, but I'm in the army. I can bail myself out early if you send, say, $2,000. I can get myself out early." And sadly, they've built up this sort of relationship online with these people, and they quite happily, send the money. And then once they've sent the money, there's kind of that thing they always, would like you hang in there to think, oh, this is definitely going somewhere. Yeah. Previous to lockdown, what these people would do would say, oh, I'll come and visit you at Christmas time. Please send me the money for the flight, and they'll send the money, and then people would turn up, expecting this person they've been speaking to online at the airport, and this person would never arrive. Right. And it's all just been an elaborate scam. But this is quite a big sort of organised crime group, so we just want to get it across to people. It's not just somebody sat there scamming one person. They're doing it. If you think there's 4 billion people online, 4 billion people across the globe online, there's plenty of people to be scammed out there, and there's a lot of people using online dating apps. There is sort of signs or things you can do to protect yourself that should sort of help you along. So one of those is if you're sort of emailing, texting these people, ask to speak to them over the phone.
Yeah.
Now, they'll come up with elaborate excuses. Now, if they do, hopefully that's when your alarm bells will start ringing. You'll be like, oh, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Why do they not want to speak over the phone? And then also FaceTiming. Ask them to have a FaceTime conversation. If they refuse, ask again. You know, if they refuse, then once again your alarm bells should be ringing, and you should be thinking, why does this person not want me to actually see who they are? That's probably because their online profile is not the actual person that you're engaging in a conversation with.
That's the trouble, isn't it, with online, that, you know, people's identity is hidden. You really don't know who you're talking to, and it's just a great shame that, you know, people who are vulnerable at this time in lockdown, people who are trying to sort of build friendships and, you know, potentially relationships at a distance, should be treated in this way. Is this something that has significantly increased during the lockdown, Chris?
Absolutely, massively, yeah. And like you say, Simon, we're never more vulnerable than when we're looking for love, are we? We want to believe that person is who they say they are. We want to believe that, you know, we're getting to know someone and feelings develop. And it's just how us humans are. But yes, these people will you know, prey on that, and sadly they just want your money. They just want to scam you out of elaborate amounts of money, and unfortunately, we're very trusting. Can be very trusting when you're trying to, you know, get into a relationship with someone. And yes, you won't see the signs, sadly. But yeah, I
guess as well it must be a bit tricky, because I guess trying to record the crime and to understand the sort of size of it as well, it must be sometimes quite challenging, because I'm assuming that the 39 victims you're talking about that have lost a total of over £1 million, those are the people that have come forward, because I suspect people might feel a bit sort of embarrassed by coming forward if they're in that situation.
Absolutely, Simon. Like I said earlier, this is recorded. This is people who have actually got on the phone and told us. But I should imagine if you're a private, that kind of person, and you feel embarrassed, that's, you know, which kind of brings us on to another sort of scam that's going about at the minute as well, that we've seen a rise in, is blackmailing. So I don't know about yourself, Simon, but are you on Instagram?
I'm not myself, but I've got lots of friends who are up on that platform.
Yeah. So what I had one a couple of weeks ago. So you will get somebody following you on Instagram, and you think, oh, do I know this person? You follow them back, and it's a young, pretty person. The profile picture, and they want to engage in conversation, and then, you know, it's one thing leads to another. You're suddenly on, you know, video with each other. They'll request you to do something that you possibly shouldn't be doing. And then sadly they'll exploit this by saying, you know, if you don't send me money, I will send this video to all your friends and family, which can be, very damaging for certain people.
That's devastating. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it, with social media, is everyone can see, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, they can see all your friends and all your family, and they can just quite simply post it on your timeline, and it could destroy you, couldn't it? I mean, effectively.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, we're always very trusting, because when we're online, we think that it's just, you know, it's just the two people just talking, and it's all going to be very platonic and very civil, and then of course, as you say, it turns sour, and blackmail is such a devastating situation to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's one of them. What do I do here? Do I send the money? If I send the money, are they going to delete the video? Are they going to keep scamming me? At what point do I report this to the police? It's a really sort of difficult situation to find yourself in, and I feel for anybody who does. What I would say is, if you get any, you know, friends, sort of people wanting to follow you and you don't know who they are, what I did was just delete them. I think that's your best bet. If you get anyone, you know, contacting you by email, anything like that, wanting to engage, I would just say, stop it there. delete the emails and not get into that world. The other thing with the online dating, another thing that can sort of help you is, like you were saying, with everyone being on social media, you are able to look people up. So if somebody says they're who they are, you could sort of do a bit of research, and if that person doesn't appear or they don't have pictures attached to their account, that's just another really good indication that person is a scammer and they're just going to take advantage of you.
Yeah, because I think when you look at the profile, certainly in Facebook, and I'm not that familiar with Instagram, to be honest with you, but certainly when you look in Facebook, you can look at the profile, and there is a bit of a warning sign goes flashing in your eyes if there's no profile picture. But more so if that profile picture is accompanied by, there's only like 3 friends or 2 friends. It's like almost the account's been set up, just for the purpose of doing this. It must be tricky. And also as well, like you say, if it is a compromising personal position, a situation that you filmed yourself in, the last thing you're going to think is, well, I'm going to share this with the police. But it's important to do this, isn't it? How do you approach this sensitively so people don't feel very awkward reporting these crimes to you?
I would say they should report it to us. They're not the only people it's happened to. I would say if they don't report it to us, they're going to find themselves in sort of a world of hurt. And it can keep going on and on. Everything that they disclose to us is private anyway. No one's going to find out about it, so they can be confident in the fact that it'll be kept between us and themselves. And they can do it online. They can go on North Wales Police web chat and they can report a crime there, so it can feel a little bit more safe for them. But yeah, I would say to anyone that this has happened to, please report it to us. Don't carry on being a victim.
And also, as well, if you're aware of it as well, you can potentially stamp on it as well and make sure that other people don't become a victim of this same blackmailer as well.
Yes, absolutely. Although it is very tricky to get these kind of people because of where they're sort of operating from. I should imagine there's a lot of international, shall we say, criminals involved that could be taking advantage of people, which makes them a lot harder to track. But yeah, I would say if you get anybody sort of coming through on your video and requesting you to do something, that you just decline and keep yourself safe. Yeah,
absolutely. So could you just give us the details on how to report these crimes? You mentioned the online chat. Can people call you up on 101? What's the best way of reporting?
Yeah, they can report it on 101. So yeah, they can ring us on that. But like I say, there's also available on the North Wales Police website. You can go through the little chat icon there, which can be a little bit quicker at times. And yeah, report it through there. But I would just say, don't suffer in silence.
Brilliant.
Don't continue to be a victim.
Great advice, wonderful. And if anyone would like to get to your Facebook page and your Twitter page to look at other information relating to other scams, or just generally being aware of things they need to do to prevent being a victim of crime, where can they go to, Chris?
Yep, so you can follow us. We have a Twitter and Facebook page. That's at nwp.com. That's COM, SAF, SAF, CENT, CENT. And if you follow us on there, we'll be doing a lot over the coming weekend about romance scams.
Great. Okay. Well, let's just hope that those are absolute minimal and people don't get taken in. But there is information online, as you say, which is there for us all to read and absorb. Thanks for your time, Chris. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Simon.
And I'll let you get to the shop now to get your flowers ready for the weekend for Mrs. Livesey. Don't forget now.
I've already got Mrs. Livesey presents weeks ago. I'm very organised, Simon.
Well, there's always that danger.
I don't want to take the risk of forgetting.
Well, there's always that danger. I'm off now to Tesco to look for the orange labels, the markdowns, but we've got to remember to peel them off.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to be leaving them on.
Oof. I shouldn't be bearing my soul on the radio. I'll get into trouble.
You shouldn't, actually.
You never know who's listening, do you? Have a good weekend.
No, you don't.
And we'll talk to you soon.
You too, Simon. Take care. Bye now.
Radio for your community is here. Colwyn Base, Bayside Radio.